Okay, so I'm sure you guys remember this is the design that I showed you that I had done that I really, really liked, and I did, until I put the faucets in the wrong place, which quite frankly didn't actually affect the design because the faucets were right here, so I still could have done the exact same design with the fountains being here and here. But then, like I said, I saw that pool, and that's really something I've always wanted in a garden. So then I redrafted that. So then I said, well, maybe I should go with something symmetrical. And so I measured from the edge of this garden to my front walkway and decided to duplicate the distance on this side, which takes me like right up to the tree. And then I said, okay, well, maybe I can just put the fountain in the center. And this would have been a fountain that would have been 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 21 or something like that. But like I said, I didn't even know how many stones they had. So then I went to this design right here, and it's the original dimensions, because the thing is, this, I didn't want this, because I think the center part almost ended like at that tree. And I wanted there to be a path because there is going to be a smaller section that's going to lead into the vegetable garden that's going to be over here. And I really didn't want to mess that up because this is kind of like, it's more like in front of the house. And so then I said, okay, well, I'll do this design. So in this particular design, there would be 2 patio seating areas at each end. There would be a 4-foot wide pool that would open up. That was going to use the cornerstones and the round pieces to open up into like a more oval type shape, and then go back to 4 feet. So basically, if you were sitting in these 2 sections over here, you could kind of like see a nice fountain, just like a pool. It'd be a pool with a almost like a reflection pool / fountain combo. And so the front beds, rather than being 5 feet deep, would be 8 feet. So it would be an 8 feet border almost all the way around. And that's how I was going to do that. But like I said, the more I thought about it, I was like, why does it have to be a fountain that you see from the entryway or even the house? So I decided to go with, I'm still going to have the 8-foot flower beds all the way around with a 3-foot walking path, which is a little bit bigger and it'll probably be easier to get a wheelbarrow. And then you're going to enter from this side where the pipes are. I'm going to do an 8-foot like gravel bed, and I'm going to put the flower pots in the center with some benches. So I'm thinking right now of doing like some pencil hollies right here. So 1, 2, 3, because they only get like a foot wide. And so that way, if you're walking past the street, you can kind of see, you can see the flowers, I don't think I want a long bench. I think I'm going to get like shorter garden benches so you can have this open. And of course, everything around it would be, flowers. And then of course I put a walking path through here, which I think is like 8 feet. And then here's where the fountain would be. So it'd be 7 feet wide by 14 feet long. And so it gives a lot of planting space around. So it's more simplistic. I think overall it's a lot more growing space. And I think in terms of the parterre aspects of it, I think what I'm probably going to do just to give it that more compartmentalization is, actually I have really no idea. I think probably, well, first of all, on this side there are going to be boxwoods, and so on this side I was planning to put like not boxwoods, but like pencil hollies, like on this outer edge. And so then because on this side there would be boxwoods. On this side, I'm not really, if I do them, they would stop here. And then, this section leads us to the garden. So I don't know. And of course, at the front of it, I guess to keep the parterre look, I could certainly put like some smaller, there's this one type of arborvitae that I think only gets like 15 to 18 inches high. Like put those around here. So the flower bed would have taller shrubs in the back and shorter ones in the front. And the thing with the sky pencil hollies is they get about 8 feet tall, but I'm sure I could probably keep them at 6 feet. But that way, like when you're walking through here, there is some privacy, like when you're sitting in here and you're at the reflecting or at the, pool, just, if somebody, well, I mean, granted, I live by myself, but no, if somebody came for a visit and wanted to just kind of have some quiet time, they could, sit out here without everybody necessarily watching them have like a meditation, meditating or whatnot. So I think this is definitely going to be the final design because, like I said, I'm constrained by the amount of blocks that they have. So this is going to work. So it's definitely a lot different than this design right here. But you know what? I think that I'll definitely be happier because I think that, having like more of a pool with fountain type deal is not something you typically see in a garden. So I think it's going to be it's definitely going to be different, but also it's going to have a lot more, because I think I actually have a lot more growing space in this design, because just here's going to be a path, but everything else around it is going to be flowers. So that makes me happy. So anyway, guys, sorry so much for rambling. I know this is probably a longer video. Hold on a second. I know this is definitely a longer video, but it's kind of hard to break that into pieces. So I went back to my plan because, we gardeners just can't leave it well enough alone. And I kind of redrew an idea of what I would like, but then I was like, you know what? I don't even know how many of these block pieces they actually have down here. So my whole point in going back today is to find out what they, like, how many they actually have, because I was kind of planning this kind of like almost like reflection pool idea with like spinners, on the long ends and like kind of in the middle, kind of making it a little bit bigger so I could put a bigger fountain that I would, build over time. And I'm like, shoot, I don't even know if they have enough pieces for me to do that. So I'm gonna go down there and figure out exactly what they have, and then start from there, because I'm trying to get as much stuff done now. You know what? I think this year I'm just gonna be gardening like all year long, literally, because I want everything to kind of be in place and ready for next year, so I can really come out of the gate swinging. Because this year I just wasn't feeling. It's not that I did get a lot done. It's just that because we had so many freezing days, I had to wait so much later to start everything that I ordinarily would have. So that's the plan today, guys. So when I get there, I'll take some pictures, because it's just you really have to see it to understand it. And everybody's really friendly and that sort of thing. And the nice part is, with COVID, we in New Jersey, we have to wear masks, particularly if you can't socially distance. Well, this place is not really that busy, so basically, unless you're talking to one of the sales associates, you don't have to wear your mask while shopping. So it's really nice because it's kind of hot out here, and I struggle with breathing with that mask on. I think part of it is because I've got allergies, and so I'm congested. But until I actually get the sales associate, I can just kind of walk without the mask on. So I'm gonna look and see blocks. I may get a few. I hope I got space in my car. I'm gonna have to rearrange the stuff in my car, and I'll see if they have any, like other stone pieces that I might like to add. They had these cute little Four Seasons statues that were little boys, and those are kind of cute. I would really like some Four Seasons statues, and they just have a lot. So, like I said, it's 3 acres of fountain, statues, urns, and everything. So, if you come, just like be prepared to take your time and just like go through it slowly, because you can miss a lot of stuff if you're in a rush. So anyway, guys, I will check in with you guys once I actually get there. Okay, guys, I am back from New Jersey Garden Creation, so let me show you what I got. It's gonna be hard to see a little bit. So as I was saying in the car, I didn't know what they actually had. So this is what I got. I got these bigger blocks they are a foot wide by like 15 inches tall. And so they only have a certain amount of them, so I'm just buying them a little at a time. And so, yeah, so because they don't have a lot, because like once I finish buying those, like they're all will be done, I have to redo my plan. And I'm out here checking my pumpkins, my squash. I see some bigger ones forming. I don't know what's going on with all this stuff out here. Everything decided it was just going to start growing at the last minute. I think probably because it was just so hot out here. So I've had to revisit my front yard plan. So I had redrawn it, and I drew it kind of big. And like I said on the way there, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I don't even know if they have enough. They don't. So they have 42, I think when we calculated it, it was like 42 linear feet of block. And so I've decided on the dimensions 7 by... Okay, and first off, I totally messed that up, because I guess when I thought of 42, I wasn't thinking linear feet, I was thinking of square feet. So I'm like, oh, 6 by 7. And then I started thinking about going, oh, how does that work? Yeah, because this is why I'm not a mathematician. So it's going to be, I think, 7 by, hold on for a second, 7 times 2 is 14. So 7 by 14. Yeah, that's the dimension. So it's going to be 7 by 14, which is going to be a good size. So then I started thinking about, well, gee, if I do that, I was trying, because I kind of, gonna break this. I was kind of hoping to kind of have a fountain, like when you first walk down the stairs, but especially because I put those 2 spigots in the wrong place. Yeah, that was real smart. It's just not going to work. But then I started thinking, why do I have to have a fountain right there? Like, you know, especially with what I'm doing now, there's going to be there's going to be more shrubs. There will be thin but tall. And so I'm like, people aren't going to be able to see the fountain anyway. I said, I do want something, you know, for you to see when you first walk out the door. And then it dawned on me, I have 3 pots that are of graduated size. And so I'm going to go get them and set them up. Okay, so that kind of look. I'll have to center it properly. So you really can't see the small one from here. And I might reverse that so that it's kind of like really facing the front door, because, you know, it's not like I have a sidewalk, so people from the street aren't really going to be seeing that much. Oh yeah, I started putting landscape fabric down, but yeah, like so. And I'm going to paint all the PVC green so that it blends into the foliage, but I think that'll work as the focal point in front of the door. And so then the fountain is going to go over there. Okay guys, so that is it. So my plans for tomorrow is to get the front lawn is short as possible. So we got some rain early this week, so it made the grass grow. And actually last weekend we got a lot of rain, so I wasn't able to actually get out there and do my yard work. So what I'm going to do is, with my riding mower, I'm going to start on 5, which is the high setting, and then gradually come down, because what I want to do is I want to make that grass as low as possible, so when I put the black sheeting down, it doesn't have as much to smother. So with where the pond is going to go, I think it's a little uneven in that section, because they did have to dig up a little bit of the grass to get the piping in. So I'll get a tamper, I'll tamp that down to make it as level as possible. And then I do have some leftover topsoil and that sort of thing. So I'll get it and put it in the spaces that needed to be raised so that I can make it level. And then I'm going to measure, how far that edge of the pool starts from the driveway bed, and then start putting those in place. And I think once I think one person needs to see the fly because he's like jumping all over the place. But I think once I do that, I'll start getting those stones in place because they're really heavy and they're weighing down my car. And then, I'll get stones, get those blocks a little bit at a time so I have everything in where it needs to be, so that way at least one thing is done. Once I get the stone in place, the stones, you probably couldn't see it, and I'll show you when I actually put them together, actually has an edge on it, so they kind of like interlock into place, which is good because it's like 15 inches high. So it's a lot more water than I thought I was going to have to use. I thought I was going to end up with something a little shorter than that, but it's going to be fine. And so So since it's going to be 7 feet wide, I can get a larger fountain, which will be nice because that way I'll have a long enough cord to reach the outside of the pool. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know I talked a lot in this one and it's kind of boring, but sometimes that's all you can do. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share this video so other people can find it. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which is hopefully me actually starting the Parterre Garden. So I will see you guys in the next video.